Hello. Yeah, today we'll be performing the experiment 2 of our optical and wireless communication lab. The aim of our experiment will create a network with a 10 Gbps NRZ optical signal link. The length of the fiber is 10 kilometer and the fiber is of single mode fiber. At the receiver, we'll be detecting the signal using a pin photodetector and we'll be applying parametric scan feature onto the length of the fiber and check what would be how the output would appear at the final electroscope, right? So the measurements include the electrical spectrum, the eye diagram, and the quality factor estimations. The components as shown over here. These are the different components in the separate sections, that is the transmitter section, the channel, the receiver section, and the measurement components that will be required to carry on the measurements. So let's start with OpSim first, and I'll just open a new file in a sample mode project. Okay, so we need to give a name to the experiment. So I say experiment 1 or rather 2 for our second practical. Say okay, it exists override, say yes. So this window will pop up in front of you. This tells you that you can select the options as per your aim and as per the specifications that have been given to you, right? So variable bandwidth simulation is possible and spectral propagation simulation is possible. So we usually we go ahead with variable bandwidth simulation. The other options in VBS simulation option are VBS full, linear fiber mode, loss only fiber mode. So usually we just go for this option of VBS full. Whether we want to consider the optical noise, yes or no. Whether electrical noise is to be considered or not, yes or no. Depending upon what is the environment that we want. Accordingly, we can select our options from here. Right? I'll say okay. So there are other things also wherein you can get the information, what are the default settings done regarding this optical experiment. Right? So the VBS bandwidth is 193. Lower limit and upper limit both have been mentioned over here. The center frequency, that is the center emission frequency of the optical system, has been set to 193.414. We'll have to remember this because we'll be using this for measurement purpose later on. So the terahertz, the bandwidth is in terahertz because here we are operating in terahertz frequency, right? Optical communication takes place in terahertz frequencies. So all these different parameters, you can just go through them, and the ones that are in white can be changed. The ones which are in gray, you cannot change them, right? Once you are done with the setting of this, you can move on to the next one, that is frequency domain. We are not allowed to make any changes in these parameters available here because they are regarding the SPT, that is the other spectral simulation mode. Similarly, simulation accuracy, you can set up your own values over here, but as for now we'll go ahead with the default values, right? What all has been set, and say okay. So now in front of you have a blank worksheet. We'll have to select the components and drop them onto this spreadsheet, right? So I just say delete all over here to initialize. To start with, first thing that you need for a transmitter section will be your logical source. So we go over here, select the data source, drag it and drop it. The next thing you need is an optical modulator. There are a lot of other modulators available over here in the library. but we use sine square amplitude modulator for our experiment. I need a modulator driver. So I go over here and select the NRZ rectangular driver. Right? And I need an optical source. So I go over here. There are different types of sources available, but we select the CW, that is continuous wave Lorentzian laser. So this is how I design my transmitter section, right? Now next thing we need is a channel. So for channel we'll be using a fiber cable. So we place a fiber over here. Now we move on to the receiver part. So you can there are two options available. Either you can use a photodetector, or the two different types of photodetectors are there, PIN and APD, right? But here you'll see that if I use a PIN photodiode and I place it over here, you see the output will be available in form of electrical signal only, right? On the other hand, if we take a receiver, a sensitivity optical receiver from here and place it, there are two electrical outputs and one optical output available. So if I want to measure the optical signal, that option is possible in case of a sensitivity receiver, right? So we won't use this photodetector directly because we want to measure the optical signal also, right? So this is this is the transmitter section, this is my channel, and this is my receiver, right? Now we need some measurement components. So for that measurement components, we go to measurement components from the library, pick up the optical power meter. We'll need two optical power meters, one to measure the signal, optical signal before the fiber, and the other one after the fiber. Now to measure or to observe the optical spectrum, we need an optical spectrum analyzer. And finally, to measure the eye diagram and other electrical spectrum and all, we'll use the electrical scope, right? So these are our measurement components over here. Now we need to initialize each and every component. So I click on it. If I want, I can change the bit rate over here and the sequence of generation, and the pseudo random sequence also can be changed, right? The fields which I invite, the values can be changed, but those which are grayed out, you cannot change any values, right? So at present we go ahead with the default values. So we say okay. The NRZ has to be initiated, so this value is also default. We go ahead with them. The laser source, you see the information that the center emission frequency of this laser source is 193.4.4 terahertz, because we are operating in optical communication region, right? And that is in terahertz. And the wavelength is 1550 nanometer window, right? Next, we initialize the amplitude modulator. Here also we don't make any changes. We go with the default values. The fiber, as present, the length of the fiber is 10 kilometers, and that is what is in our aim also. So we go ahead with this value. I initialize the optical sensitivity meter receiver. Here I can select either PIN or APD. We haven't given the choice of PIN, so we go ahead with the PIN photodetector, right? Similarly, we have to initialize each and every measurement component also. So we do that. As soon as you initialize the component, the question mark which is there, in case the component was not initialized, a question mark will appear over here. And as soon as you initiate it, that means you have set up the properties of that particular component. And now the next step is to connect the components, right? So the green color indicates that is a logical signal, the blue indicates that is an electrical signal, and the red one link will indicate that is an optical signal, right? So there won't be any error in connecting the components, right? So we need to connect all the measurement components too, and I want to connect the optical power meter at the input of the fiber or at the output of the amplitude modulator. And the next is to connect the second optical power meter at the output of the fiber. So this is my optical link of 10 Gbps NRZ signal, right? So designing is done. Now we need to simulate it, right? So first, uh, the other part of our aim is to apply a parametric scan by varying the length of the fiber, right? So I just go over here. Now how do I apply this parametric scan to the length of the fiber? For that, first thing we need to do is initialize a global symbol, right? So I go and click on it, symbols, add. Now the length of the fiber, I can symbolize it with L and give a value, say 10. I can change it to 20 and say OK. So that means I have initiated this symbol, global symbol over here. Now I go back again to the fiber and check whether that has been given. So the length is say 10. That was the initial value that we had selected. We need to assign the global variable to it. So I give L. That was the global symbol that we had selected, right? And say OK. Again, you can check now whether it has been initialized or not. So see, the length has changed to equals to 20. This shows that the variable has been assigned to this length parameter, right? So say OK. After doing this, go to scan. Say overwrite the initial results. Say yes. Go to scan parameters. We'll check the output using the 4 different values of length of the fiber. So we'll say append the row 4 times. Okay. So the first value is 20. The second value we can take it as 60. The third we set it up as say 90. And the final one we set it at 120. So these are the different length of the fibers, right? Once you initiate that, now we run the simulation. So for that, go to start scan parameter. The simulation has started and it shows you all the different runs, all the stages of simulation over here, right? And the progress of the simulation can be observed in the progress bar. So now the simulation is over. We close this window, right? Now the first measurement to be done is to check the optical power meter 1 output. So I right click on it, go to view data, and these are the value. This is the value of the optical power meter 1. That is before the signal value, the optical signal before the fiber, right? It will be same for all the 4 runs. That is for all the 4 values of my fiber length, right? You need to note this down. And remember also minus 6 dB. Check for the optical signal value at the output optical power meter 2. So here you will have different values for all the 4 lengths of the fiber. So this the power signal at the output of length of the when the length of the fiber was 20 kilometer, the power obtained was minus 10 dBm. Similarly, at the output of length of 40, I think that was the next one, right? For 60, I guess. 60 kilometer fiber, it is minus 18. 90 kilometer fiber way, it is minus 30, and so on, right? So we have all the four values available, and you need to note them down and close. So you see that as the signal travels along the fiber, because of the losses taking place inside the fiber, the power signal at the optical power meter 2 is less as compared to the signal strength at optical power meter 1. So one of the tasks is to comment on why the power signal at optical power meter 2 is less than that of that optical power meter 1. The reason is that losses have taken place in the fiber. Right. Now we have also done parametric run onto this length of the fiber. So let's check the optic eye diagram at the output of the electrical scope. Right. So this shows the different optical eye diagrams, rather optical signals at the for different values of length of the fiber. So for run 1, the length of the fiber was 20 kilometers. So this is how my signal strength appears, right? For run 2, it comes out to be like this. That is for 60 kilometer fiber. For 90 kilometer fiber, the closure is almost closed. Eye is almost closed, and for 120 kilometer fiber, there is no opening at all, right? So this gives us an idea that as the length of the fiber increases, the losses increase, right? Now, one more feature. Okay, first of all, let's measure the four parameters given over here. So first thing we need to measure is the quality factor for length of the fiber of 20 kilometer, right? So I click on quality factor, and the value is over here. It's 16 dB. The bit error rate is 6.8, 1 e raised to minus 0. So this many bits are in error, right? Eye opening, it gives you 3 different values: the opening of the eye, the average opening of the eye, and the closure of the eye, right? And the jitter, that is the delay. So it took 0.01 nanoseconds for the signal to pass through the link, right? This was for length 20 kilometers. Similarly, we check the values for length of 60 kilometers. So please note down, take a snapshot of this screen. The next is for L equals to 60 kilometers. The value of Q factor, again, the bit error rate, the eye opening, and the jitter. So these are the values, 4 values for the length 60 kilometer. Similarly, for 90 kilometer fiber, again we measure the Q factor, the BER, the eye opening, and the jitter, right? And for the final run, where the length is 120 kilometer, I need to note down the Q factor, BER, eye opening, and jitter. So you will see that the jitter value for the previous run, that was for run 3, the jitter value was 0.02 nanoseconds, whereas for run 4 it is 0.016 nanoseconds. So it has similarly for the eye opening, the closure of the eye, all these readings have to be noted down in an observation table for different values of length of the fiber, right? This is about the readings for the observation table. Now let's see the superimposition feature of OpSim, wherein you will be able to compare the outputs from different runs. So for that, we right click on this run 1 and keep this open. Keep this window open over here. Go to run 2, right click on it and say superimpose. Right, and select the color palette over here. Right, so this shows for two different values of length of the fiber. This is how the output appears. Similarly for run 3, say superimpose and go to color palette, the green one, yellow. Similarly for the fourth case, over here, color palette, it's almost down, right? So for different length of the fibers, this is how my output appears. So using the theoretical concept, you can comment that for length, the one that is in green must be corresponding to length of fiber of 20 kilometer. Similarly, for 60 kilometer, it is the one that is shown in brown. This blue, dark blue, is the one for 90 kilometer fiber, and the bottom one is for 120 kilometer fiber. So that is, the signal strength is deteriorating as the length of the fiber is increasing. Right? This is the information that you can get from an eye diagram. The next part was to measure the electrical spectrum. Check the electrical spectrum. So for that, I go to electrical spectrum and I check it for run 1. Right? So open it. This is how my electrical spectrum appears. This is for run 1. I can minimize it and place it over here. For run 2, superimpose it, change the color palette, it's already visible in different color. Similarly for run 3, again you can superimpose it and this is how it appears. And the final one is for length L equals to 120 kilometer. Right? So these are all 4 different colors, and they are representing the electrical spectrum for 4 different values of L, that is the length of the optical fiber. Right? You see that the signal strength is going down. See, this is for run 1. Run 1 means this is the value for L equals to 20 kilometer. So as my length is increasing, my signal strength is deteriorating, because this final one is for length of 120 kilometer. Right? So the optical spectrum also gives me the same expected results, right? And finally, we would like to check the optical spectrum. So view the optical spectrum. So this is my optical spectrum. I need to measure the center emission frequency. So for that, I'll make use of markers. The blue marker over here or the red one, either of them can be used. And as I move the marker across the x-axis, you'll see that there is change in the values in this field, right? So I'm moving it to measure the center emission frequency of this spectrum. And if I bring it over here, this is my center emission frequency, and that value is 193.415. And if you remember, this was this emission frequency of my laser, 193.414, right? So this way you can verify that the source was emitting at 193.414 terahertz, and the same optical spectrum also gives me the same information, right? So these are the different tasks. You'll have to first measure the optical power meter readings for 1 and 2, and then you'll have to measure the values of Q factor BER, the jitter, and the eye opening for all the four different length of fibers, right? As well as take the snaps of the electrical spectrum for all the four values of L, as well as for the optical spectrum can be observed, and its emission frequency can be compared with the center emission frequency of the laser, right? Now one more thing, just to change, okay, the length of the fiber can also be, the values of this parametric scan can be changed. So let's just go and change the value to get a better eye diagram, right? So go to scan parameters, and now we can change the values to say 10. If we keep a lower length, I guess the diagrams will be better. Eye diagrams will be clearly visible. The opening will be clearly visible. So let's just restrict ourselves to the length from 10 to 50. So it can be changed on go. Again simulate it. So once the simulation is done, then we'll close this window. So this way the parametric run feature can be applied to the length of the fiber, right? Now let's check the eye diagram. Okay, it's visible over here, I guess. Yeah. This one is already open. I just close this. These are the previous results, so we don't need them. We need a different. So again, this is it for the eye diagram for L equals to 10. For L equals to 20, this is much better than the previous ones, right? Here you are at least able to check the opening, eye opening. So let's superimpose this. The run 1 eye diagram is already open. I superimpose the output of the run 2. This is how it appears. Similarly for run 3. So superimpose and apply the color palette. And finally for run 4. So this is how the signal eye opening can be checked, right? The same results as we had previously also, that as the length of the fiber increases, more losses are there, as a result of which the eye opening is decreasing. That means the opening of the eye means the distance between the upper eyelid and the bottom eyelid, right? So you see the closure is increasing and the opening of the eye is decreasing. The length between the upper and the lower lid is decreasing. That tells me that my signal strength is deteriorating, right? And the observation table we have already taken before, so I'm not repeating the same. I hope it's clear. So this is all about your experiment 2. Okay, thank you.